3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Welcome into the open where we get technical. You should have investments in long-term growth. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Neil Hamilton. This is Get Technical. Let's get something out of the way. Sir Dirty, what is with the just got out of bed, good use of hyphenation, hipster hairdo? I just got out of bed and I'm a hipster. What can I say? Sheesh. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? We have let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something cool. Watch this. Hold on. Share my screen. Hey, Ramon. This screen. That's Cliff. Let's look at QQQ. Market opens in 5 minutes. QQQ, NASDAQ, ETF, up in the pre-market. And it feels good. Let me get an amen. If you watch this dip and you said, I'm going to scoop up some of that as soon as I see some signs of life, let me get an amen in the chat. If you're happy to see that QQQ has returned to a bona fide textbook definition upward trend, which it has not been for the past few weeks, despite what SPY has been doing. Don't press Alt F4. Don't. Don't fall for that. Let's go. Can you point out on the charts why we should always sell the rip? That's kind of a loaded question, but I'll take the bait. I'll try. Why you should always sell the rip? Usually when there's a huge move upward, like most of the time when there's a huge move upward on something like QQQ here, you can see a couple gaps upward, and we're about to open with another gap up. You look for signs of overextension. So you can use your RSI, and if the line is above 70, getting into the 80 range, you're looking at overbought mode, and that means that people are probably going to start selling off. And so you want to make sure that you sell before that so you can take your profit. Alt F4, who can bid the highest? Why do you keep saying guys, are you debating Jason? Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. All right. That's for my April Fool's prank. Yeah, so my guys, those of you that fell for the April Fool's prank where I said I was leaving Benzinga and I was going to stop doing Get Technical. Gotcha. That's all I have to say about that. QQQ, here's the way I'm looking at it. This is the way I'm looking at NASDAQ right now. We are in a confirmed upward trend. Higher high, higher low. But we have this previous trend line, right? Very broad, going all the way back to our COVID lows. This is our trend line that we draw on the right side of our candlesticks always to begin with. Showing the support that we dip back down to as we loftily rise to glory. QQQ, the NASDAQ ETF. Then we violated it and broke down during our little tech sell-off rotation into value. We attempted to get back in there, but got beat back down back in March, mid-March. We are attempting it again. And it looks like we're right on it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see it a little bit, so don't complain at me. Put your little CVS bifocals on. We are touching that line. We're doing that thing. We're doing the flyby. Flyby kiss. Kissing the line. So really, really bullish indicator that's going to be very exciting that we want to see is a close above this line. A close above this line. So then we can start playing it like this. That's what we want to see with QQQ. What do you think about start buying SQQ? So that depends. What I would say is if we get rejected by this line, you have two support lines that you're gonna watch out for. So you're saying SQQ because it's an inverse ETF, meaning QQQ goes up, SQQ goes down. That's an easy way for traders to short the NASDAQ. You may do so with a reasonable amount of this isn't a dumb idea. If we get rejected at this line today with a session close below it, but you've got to watch out for these support lines. We've got support at 329. So with SQQQ, you want to be watching for the commensurate price level, right? Here we're going down with SQQQ, we'd be going up. So you're watching for that level. So what I can do right now, I wanted to just quickly touch on SPY, but I mean, SPY is just going crazy. SPY is about to, I believe, get a little bit of exhaustion and consolidate a little bit, because you can see that if we look at the history of SPY's cycles here, between impulse and correction, it doesn't really get that oversold or overbought before it corrects. And it's looking like it's time for a little bit of a correction. Market open. Aaron Bree. Producer AB.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Producer AB, what do you have to say for yourself? Are you there? He's hiding in his box. Yeah, so we're opening down, or not, we're not opening down, but we're starting to move down a little bit on SPY. So I do expect a little bit of consolidation at this level. This is actually a Fibonacci line where I can do this. Let's look at our last corrective phase for SPY and just use the Fibonacci retracement tool, anchor it at the top of that corrective phase, and then anchor it once again with the second point on the low of that corrective phase. And you can't see it, but the line is right where I put my white line here, where we hit resistance. And I would expect something kind of like, maybe like that, because that's the way SPY looks. So let's draw a trend line on SPY. Let's do the work that needs to be done here, where I take my trend line that has 2 points, where I go to a swing low on support to the next swing low on support and say we want to hold that, right? That's what we're looking to hold as we continue our upward trend with SPY. So you can look at a touch on this trend line as a buy signal, as long as it looks like it's bouncing. So you want confirmation of bounce, right? So let's look at SQQ. So you want to short the Qs. All good. Episode is completely mistitled because I wanted to talk about cup with handles, which we'll do. Tough to say. I would only do this in a day trading scenario. Just looking at the daily chart. Not looking good for SQQ right now. Up to you, my friend. I would be looking for some identifiable pattern, but this right here, boop, 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 looks like this thing's going to go lower. I'm bullish Qs. That was the reverse ETF. This thing just looks too damn good. Looks too damn good, guys. What do I think about the slow stochastics indicator? I want to start exploring. Actually, guys, follow me on Twitter. Follow me at Neil's Tweets and tweet at me the stuff you want me to start using. Because this show is about learning together. Did I type that right? Yeah, there we go. And let me know what tools. Another one that I want to use is the relative strength line, which tells you how the stock you're looking at is comparing to the SPY, which is totally matches what I do, because I'm always looking for stocks that have sector strength or relative strength against the rest of the market. Actually, that's not even unique to me. Everyone should be doing that. Okay, so I wanted to look at a few cup and handles. So let me get my notes open here. In the meantime, if you guys have some cup with handles that you know of, some tickers that you like, drop them in the chat. I'm looking for cup with handles today, okay? Because they're extremely common and they occur after sell-off phases like we've just had. So if you've got some charts that look like this with one of these, it looks like setup territory for a cup with handle. So drop your names, which is, I mean, look at QQQ. Am I right? What do you think is going to happen here? Hey. Okay, let's hit a couple of these. So, regional banks. Regional banks. Let me get my sector ETFs open really quick. SBDR regional banking ETF is KRE. Let's take a look at the KRE ETF, regional banking. Looks like we are still holding support on this one. So you can see we've been here before. I've got my little drawings showing our impulsive and corrective phases. Looking for a bounce on regional banks today, but it is still holding support at this moment. So watch this closely. And the reason I'm pulling that up is because Central Pacific, CPF, Financial Corp, is a cup with handle. How do we identify a cup with handle? Ideally, a strong upward trend, because this is a continuation pattern, a rejection at a level with some selling off. And we don't want V-shaped, guys. We don't want V-shaped. No one wants to drink out of like a snow cone cup. You know those like those little cylinder cups that they have at those paper cups that they have at like water tanks or whatever you call them, water coolers. Those things suck. So they feel awkward in your hand. I feel like if I'm gonna squeeze it, it's gonna pop out or just like crumple like a little into dust. Those things suck. We don't want that. We don't want that little water cooler V. All right. We want a nice teacup. All right. And then it's getting rejected again, once again. And then we get a little bit of a sideways sell-off, but it does not go down more than, say, 30% into our original cup. This is where we're looking for buying opportunities. This is the line in the sand. That's really small. Let me make it bigger. I'm sorry. Don't be mad. Can you see it now? That is my rudimentary, drawn with colored pencil, cup with handle. And drop your cup with handles in chat. I want to give a big shout out to Jason for chillin' and shillin' here on Get Technical. Chillin' and shillin'. That's how we do it. So, guys, the first one to reach Spencer Israel by phone, if you can find it, his number's out there. It depends. If you're in Alabama, go to your nearest gas station bathroom stall and get his number. And the first one to call it will get a $20 Amazon gift card. Worth it. We got some screaming deals on Amazon right now. So thanks, Jason, for that. I hope Spencer never sees that. Don't tell him I made that comment, please. I need to maintain a healthy working relationship with him. All right, cup with handle. So here we have it, folks. Let me get my handy dandy paintbrush and draw my happy little cup with handle. Upward trend. We got it. Hit by some resistance. We're not going to cry about it. Why? Because we're watching for that little scoop action, little round and scoop action. Not a sharp super V, but a little scoopy, like the prices gradually get down to their low, which is right about here. All right, and then we've got our sell-off. I'm using pens, guys. I got my crayons out. That's we're keeping it casual. But you know what? For the sake of posterity, I'm going to start using now some more definite lines to make this easier to read for you. For all you guys with your CVS bifocals. So let me erase my drawings. Let's do it right with the arc tool. This point, the highest point on your trend up, when the stock got rejected at that price level and started to sell off, is called your left cup. Now, after finding the left cup, the next thing you want to find is your pivot. Our pivot is the next high point, which can often be lower than your left cup. In this case, it's slightly lower. Not a lot. It's almost exactly at the same level as the left cup, which makes this even cleaner of a trade. So perfect for what we're doing right now. Oh, shit. Jason's in the studio. Would I wait for the green candle to get in? Gregory, great question. And I'm about to answer that. Jason, I think, is eating a Eggo waffle and close to his microphone.
Me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can actually hear me?
No.
Yes
I changed
or
my
no?
mind. Nope, I can't hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. Can the audience hear me?
If I can hear you, they probably can too. Yeah.
All right, Neil, I'm sorry to invade your show for just 30 seconds. Okay.
Do it.
I heard you. Your show is great. Thanks for the advice on finding his phone number in those bathrooms. That was great. On Spencer's. But you know what I decided? We're Zinger Nation. All of us here, 500 people, we're all a team. You guys love Neil, and you guys give him ideas to talk about, and we're all a team. And two guys in the chat asked, "Are we on Fubo TV?" Well, we had the CEO on 6 weeks ago. He's like, "Yeah, let's get a syndication deal." We sent him some swag, no follow-up, and that's upsetting. So instead of just doing it internally with Benzinga team members, I'm changing the game, and I'm changing it today, Neil. Zinger Nation is going to be Zinger Nation. We're going to get stuff done together. So, yeah, I gave Spencer's number out, and Clyde got a hold of Spencer, it sounds like. Maybe you want Clyde to call in. He said that Spencer was not too happy to hear from Clyde. But listen, Clyde the Glide is going to help us get on Fubo TV. Stay on Spencer. Clyde, call Spencer every day until we're on Fubo. That's totally good, man. Me and Neil need it because listen, Neil's working 100 hours a week. I'm sure I'll get a text message yelling at me right now. But you know what? And maybe I'll get a bad review. Someone will write on Yelp that Jason Raznick sucks. But you know what? Every bad review I get, and my kids have to see, which is terrible. At the end of the day, Neil, we're helping our users. We're helping people get better information. Your technical show, technicals was French to me. So it's not Jason versus a team member versus Spencer. It's us all together. Get their distribution so they can watch the show how they want, when they want, and learn from the best instead of having to turn on CNBC. That's what I have to say. So Zinger Nation is starting today. And Neil, I have a new show, The Business of Benzinga. It's going to be a weekly show. I don't know the day of it yet. I got to talk to Internet Enforcers, my consultant. We're new friends, and that's what's going to happen. I'll leave you alone now. I just had to say that. Keep doing your thing, Neil. Sorry. Peace.
All right, baby. So